Hello, this is teddygaming, and welcome back to another breakdown video. And in today's one, we're going to be looking at the TMNT The Alliance issue number 6. Now, this whole issue, unlike the other ones that have been focusing on a certain character, this one's not actually focusing on any characters. And by the sounds of it and looks of things, it seems as though that this issue is going to be bringing all the characters together to go up against one big threat, which I do think could be really interesting, but I do also think that this could be a wait and see type situation, because as of right now, I do think that the team is quite really cool, but at the same time, I do hope they like to actually do something with the team and not just be a one-off type thing. I think that's sort of like my concerns going into this issue, and I think it's going to be a wait and see type situation to see where things do go after this event as well as after this issue. So yeah, I thought we should just get straight into the actual description for this issue. Okay, so the description for this issue goes as follows. Spurred by the looming threat of Rat King's Armageddon game, Roku Karai sets out to fortify Foot Clans by building an alliance she could trust. But now as the Chaos God and his terror trio tighten their grasp on New York City, Karai must choose align with the old enemy or watch the world fall to ultimate evil. Battle lines are drawn here in the epic final issue of the Alliance as the Armageddon game nears its end. Okay, so first off, I'd like to say that this whole thing sounds really interesting, and I do think that this whole description, as of right now, does not actually reveal anything too big or anything at all really. And like I've been saying with past breakdowns, that this could honestly go either one or two ways, where this could be a good thing or bad things, because sometimes they do reveal a bit too much and it spoils it, and you know, that's normally quite bad, I would say. But at the same time, with them actually revealing hardly anything, it all just makes you wonder just what is actually going to go down in this issue. Just because this issue is going to be coming out on, like, basically at the final stage of the Armageddon game, and so I'd have to wonder like a lot of things about this whole issue, whether this issue is going to be a really big major one, or this is going to be sort of like a throwaway type thing. Now overall, I don't really think that this is going to be a throwaway type issue, but I do think that it's going to be quite interesting to see what does actually go down in this issue, seeing what characters go up against what and do what, because of everything that's happened, and I do think it's going to be a really interesting thing to see. So I do have to think that maybe due to a lack of actually any description, that this issue is going to be going on to do something really big and really major, which, yeah, I can't lie, I'm really down for that. Okay, next thing I want to talk about, and it's possibly the only thing to talk about, is the fact that Karai has to team up with enemies to take down the bad guy. Now, the thing is that I sort of interpret this in a few different ways. Now, the main way which I think that you're going to interpret this from this description is the fact that she has to team up with basically Casey Jones, Angel, Alapex, and all those characters, which you could see were enemies once before, but at the same time, just due to the whole event and past issues, they have more or less been put on like good terms as of recently. So I'd have to wonder if maybe the term villain could be used to describe these characters, but at the same time, just due to their relationship currently right now, I am still wondering if maybe it's not really referring to them. Now, the other characters which I would like to reference in terms of who could be in terms of the villain, I do think it could be maybe Kitsune, just because Kitsune is a pretty big threat, I would say, and the last time they really like talked to each other was in issue 100, when basically Kitsune wanted to sacrifice Karai, so they're not really exactly on good terms. And with Kitsune going to be in the final issue of the Armageddon game, issue 139, and I do think that maybe Kitsune could have something to do with Karai, maybe tell her to do this certain thing, that the Alliance had to go off and do like a certain special type thing. I'm wondering that maybe could happen, but at the same time I'm not exactly too sure, because things do definitely change. Now, next one which I'd like to bring up is the Clone Turtles, just because they won the cover for the Alliance issue number 6, but that all just made me wonder if maybe these turtles could join join Karai and help them out and take down the Terror Trio and stuff like that, because they would have inside information. So I'm sort of wondering if maybe they could team up and take them down, but at the same time I'm not exactly too sure about them. Now, the last person which I would like to bring up is the fact that in issue 1 of this alliance, we did get to see Karai talking to someone in the Foot HQ base, and we never really got to find out who that person was, even though they were looking for Casey Jones. Now, I sort of wondered if maybe this could be Hun or something like that, but I would have to say that maybe it's not. But either way, I do have to think that maybe this villain, whoever it may be, could potentially be the villain that Karai teams up with to take down this character, or like this team, or whatever it is. But I would have to say that if this is the case, and it is something they're bringing back from past issue or something like that, then on the one hand, I'm looking forward to see who it could potentially be. But at the same time, if I don't actually set anything up with this character, whoever it may be, I do feel as though that it could potentially like not have much of an impact as it could necessarily had. Like, I don't know if I'm making my point clear here, but you know, if we were to find out who this person was and find out what they want Casey Jones up and stuff like that, so when we do get to see the interaction between this character or these characters and Casey, it could be a bit more interesting. So it feels though it's going to be more like, huh? Oh, that character. Okay, great. Okay, so now looking at the actual covers, and I must admit they are really interesting. Okay, so the first one which I'd like to talk about is the cover RI one, and get to see Karai, People Rocksteady on the cover, and it's done by Matu Santaloko, and just wow, this one's just amazing. It really is still going in that same sort of vibe from the Matu Santaloko cover RI ones from this whole series, and I must admit they do look really amazing. And I would say that with the other cover for cover B, it really does show that there's more of an emphasis on Bebop and Rocksteady. So I don't really know if maybe these could potentially be the villains, but at the same time I don't think so. But I do wonder why Bebop and Rocksteady were like a big main focus for these covers. I do find that a bit weird, but at the same time really cool. Okay, so now for cover B, we get to see Bebop and Rocksteady just charging at something. We don't really get to see what it is, but I just see them to just charging at something, and the artwork here does look really amazing. It's really, yeah, I don't really know how to really describe this one. It's just so this cover, I would say. The artwork is really amazing, the colours are amazing, and at the same time, there's not really too much I can really say about this one, just because it's just these two characters just doing something that these two characters would do. I wish there was a little bit more to this one, just so that I can talk about it, but you know, I just can't because it's just these two characters. So yeah, other than that, it's a really nice cover. Now cover A is when we do get to the more interesting things, I would say. Just because overall this cover is a really nice one. I do really like the artwork and just the poses for all these characters. They look amazing. And as I pointed out, the clone trolls are there, so that's sort of interesting as well, what could potentially be happening with those characters. Interesting to see where that does go. So there are a few other characters from this Alliance series that are also missing, such as April, but I do guess that maybe she could be doing comms and security stuff from a protected place, because I don't think she would be much help on the battlefield. So I feel as though that she will be part of the Alliance team, but I don't think she will actually be on the battlefield. So it's quite disappointing that she's not on the team or out in battlefields, but at the same time I do hope that she is still working with them. Now the other characters which we don't get to see on this team is Venus de Milo, Bludgeon, Koya, Natsu, you know, other characters working for Karai who has some sort of like loyalties and stuff like that, but yet they don't get seen on this cover. So this really just made me wonder a lot of things about this whole issue, just due to a lot of things, just because this could potentially like basically sort of spoil things for issue number 4, and saying that like Koya, Bludgeon and Venus, they leave the team or leave the Foot Clan. So I'm very curious about that, so I'm not too sure what to expect for Alliance issue number 4 now. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. I'm quite interested to hear what you say about this in the comment section below. Who do you think the villain is that Karai's going to be teaming up with, and what do you think of this Alliance team? Overall, I'm really interested to see where things could go, and yeah. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. If you do like something, please share, like, subscribe and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.